All right, we are at Chateau de Speed, and we have pulled the car in, opened the hood to cool it off, and started the phone. Okay, we got it taped up to protect from scratches. We've taken pictures of the engine bay where we're going to be working. All right, this is the Getadom tune cylinder 4 coolant mod. So there we go. All right, doing the Getadom cooling mod. About to cut that and pull this thing out, do some stuff. That 12 millimeters coming out. So, hold that light. So that's the back of cylinder 4 right there.
Yep.
And there's the mod.
Yep.
And it goes up to here. We've cut this hose right here, put the T there, hook the mod in. Here's clearance on the steering. All right. And here we go, removing the intercooler. These are 12 millimeter bolts.
So like this guy, that's pretty cool.
What is that?
It's your clutch slave cylinder.
Cover up that so you don't drop anything down in there.
Yep. See it?
Yeah, this right here. Right, this one?
Yep.
And it goes all the way down to there.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And it keeps going though, huh? This is that little T.
Hopefully that'll give us enough room to move this other hose.
Here's an update. We've got the bracket off over here. We've got the cooling kit installed. We've got the bracket installed. We've got snugged up. We've got the nipple changed out. This piece changed out. We swapped over the O-ring. We still have not connected the factory PCV valve, but that's okay. Now we're gonna put this factory bracket.
What happens when you rush? All your tails were bulldog tails. No, they weren't.
Okay, so here is the hose that'll go to the PCV part of the AOS. Starts here, runs under this elbow, and then right along this, up through here. I think that routing will work. So we're gonna take the washers out here because of the hoses. Okay, so this is the drain back kit we're working on. I've routed this hose down, way down in the direction of the turbo. Low, right on top of the block. And it's coming out here. And I'm gonna keep it low, and we're gonna go there. Yeah, that'll work. Yep.
And that's kinked up.
We just have to cut it, man. Cut it, make it shorter.
Well, we can cut it, but this is still not going to. All right, so
You see what I mean? Just pull more through to get it to the right length for you.
but we still have to see if we. Once we sit it in, it's gonna be like this.
Oh, that's not good.
No, because it's up against the turbo. Sometimes you have to drain it. You know, sometimes you have to drain that, and this keeps you from having to come and stick your hands in it. Yeah. Even if it is a minute amount of it coming back down, it's a very small amount. It's not gonna. Hopefully, it's not substantially a lot. Because if it is a lot, then you have an issue with stuff elsewhere. But even if it is routed in that manner, kind of coming in this way, it's going to be a very slow, progressive leak. It's basically going to be a drip.
Well, here's an update. We started around, I'm going to say we started around 3 o'clock legitimately, but I pulled the car in here on the lift and we did the coolant, cylinder 4 coolant mod around 2 o'clock, and then we kind of started on this AOS install with the coolant kit and the drain back kit around 3 or 4 o'clock. It's now 9:30, and as you can see, intercooler is out of the car. We're still working on plumbing. We've kind of got things mocked up. After much deliberation, we've chosen to use a little taller hose here at the crankcase and route to the left to the AOS instead of going the long way. So we got a zip tie here. We're gonna put one there.
And what we did was we did cut a piece of hose
just to protect it,
just to keep it from either rubbing on it, and it'll be like that. We haven't needed any special tools yet, so we've got that going for us. Good and new, but so we don't need an intake manifold gasket, but that's something I would probably, like if it was a complete kit, I'd probably end up getting that.
But for somebody in the southern United States, you would probably skip the coolant add-on kit.
Yeah. I would anywhere. I mean, I could see it being useful up north, but here in the south, I don't think I would have necessarily done it.
Yeah, we're sticking this little thing down in here.
Define we.
Come look at this. We've got this rotated. It's not a rotated turbo. It's a rotated wiring harness. It's rotated. Okay, so we've taken this white piece off of this, which was down here, and stuck it in this fitting. We've got this little fitting that we took off of here, and we've taken this white thing off. We've got a white thing there. I don't know what we're doing.
Have a drinking problem.
So that's gonna plug in there.
Easiest thing is just to pull that hose off so you have access to it in case you got to get it. Cool. So that's there. And then we've got this, which I guess is going to that.
Supposedly this and this are going to wire together with this and plug into the last place. We got 9 inches here coming out there. We're cutting this at 13 inches to go from there to the Y. Put a little grease on that end. It just shoves right on, bro. Like it. Thinking about using this factory fitting.
Oh, bro, that would work 10 times better.
To connect these, so.
I don't even know where this thing goes, but you're gonna have to pull that. Yeah, can you get?
Yeah. So we're using this factory fitting to go here. Can't get it to focus. There we go. So here we go. We've got, here's the Y. Here's this connector. And the Y. So this goes down through here to the Y. This is the stock piece that we reused that has the loom kind of wrap on it, and it goes down into that. Hope that came out on the video. Let me get it from this angle. So this is a stock piece of hose that we've connected into that white part and run into the Y. Here's this piece going into the Y, and then from the Y up to there. So I'm gonna get some zip ties on these. There we go. Now we're gonna start with the coolant add-on, which we've already sort of hooked up. We've got some hose clamps here. We're just gonna need a route. And
this is the shorter one. It's the one that goes to the far side.
Okay. And it's gonna go along here.
Yes.
We're gonna cut it there. So we're cutting the short one, the long one, the short one.
Short one.
We're cutting the short one. It's the top. It's gonna curve around and go here.
Yeah.
But where does this go?
It goes to the radiator. So we're gonna do that right there.
So working on the cooling add-on, where we're essentially deleting one of these, the one that goes to the radiator.
So this is referred to as the shorter hose.
Yep, it's the short hose.
Okay.
Which is essentially the return, and the long hose is going to be the... Okay, pop these pop rivets, pull this sucker off.
Throw it away, you don't need it.
So that we can run the long coolant hose.
Bro, I'm running out of cars that actually run.
So, now what you can do is you can pretty much route it.
So we've marked it.
Yep.
We're cutting it.
Yep.
We've reinstalled the throttle body.
Yep. This line, that line. The gasket looked okay, so we're reusing it. Normally, if it's got a lot of miles, you want to reuse it, or you want to replace it. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Got both coolant lines, connectors. Checking all the connections under here before we put the intercooler back on, so we don't get any funny check engine lights.
Yeah.
Next thing we're gonna do is use WD-40 on this shit too. Just kind of get it lubed up. All right. Huh. I'm stuck.
Well, everything's hooked up, and we're currently removing the throttle body again because we're fighting clearance issues with hose routing while getting the intercooler reinstalled so that we can fill coolant, burp the system, and be done. It looks like the solution has been to remove the longer hose that we were using and go back on that little guy down there to the stock OE. Hour 2 of trying to put the top mount intercooler back on. I think we're going to try to remove this bracket to give us some more room. It is the least fun thing I've ever worked on.
Day 8.
Yeah.
Captain's log.
Ro has finally done whatever mechanic trickery has to be done to get this back on. I can assure y'all if that ever comes back off, there'll be a front mount intercooler because that's crazy ridiculous.
Stupid.
So stupid to get in there. That's the part.
Tech tip. If you want to get that done first before you plug everything else in.
So mock it all up, test fit it, and
Pull
then
it off.
And then don't have this one hooked up. Don't have any of those two hooked up.
Yeah.
Also, leave these rails off of that side.
And then just splice it. Put the intercooler in first, and then come back and address the hoses, because that'll make it 10 times easier to be able to get your hands in. Starting them at 9. I would honestly recommend putting this one in. See, because this one needs to be cut as well, so it's not so.
Yeah.
So the 13 one probably needs to be about a 12, and then obviously we did away with this 9-inch hose because it was routed kind of in a weird pattern, and we used the OE hose. We just cut about an inch off, but also this 9-inch hose is probably more about five or so, but that'll make it to where it sits here and it sits in kind of a better position.
Yeah. So there you have it. This is new hose routing. There's lots of hose.
Lots of hose.
I know.
The engine's there.
It is now 3:30 in the morning. We've been working on the car since, well, we've been working on it for 12 hours. we have everything back together. We have coolant in it. We did the Getadom tune cylinder 4 cooling mod and installed the Verus Engineering AOS with the coolant kit and the drain back kit. And the intercooler reinstallation gave us hell, and now burping the cooling system's giving us hell. So we're calling it. I gotta work 9 to 6 tomorrow, which means I gotta be up by 7, which is you know, less than ideal. But the guys at the shop are gonna jump back on it tomorrow, and I'll get everybody updated with how it does.